Hello and what's up everyone, Paul Tranny here. I'm going to dive into all sorts of fun things. Basically, we're going to be dealing with all the Creative Cloud desktop apps that we can handle. And I'm going to be doing that right now, so feel free to hold on one second. Looks like everything is live, and we're looking good. So thanks so much for joining me today. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let me do that in 1 second. And I'm thankful you guys are joining me. So, just making sure I could see chat is the short of it. So, thanks for joining me. My name is Paul Tranny, evangelist for Adobe. We're going to cover all the things that are fun and cool for designers in Creative Cloud. All right, I got to use my words. Fantastic. Let's just turn this on. There we are. Okay, so let's dive into this right now. Thanks so much for joining me. Hopefully you like the fun logos. Just kind of did this little Snapchat filter that I made, which I thought was pretty fun, right? But around my head are basically the apps that we're going to be covering, at least the designer-based ones. So enough of that. Let's move on and dive right into this. And feel free to say hello as well in chat so I could see your name and say hi back. That would be great. And let's jump into this. Cool, there we are. Awesome. Italy, I see you. Amir, Naida, Gino, Andre, everyone, Adam, awesome, from Tacoma. So we're going to get into this right now. I'm going to bounce between Photoshop, Illustrator. We're going to jump out to the desktop. We'll jump into XD. We'll do a little XD action, right? But we'll actually start right in here in Illustrator. So typically, I just want to make sure you guys are using actually the Creative Cloud libraries. So this is how I manage all my assets. So this is essential as a designer to use libraries, okay? So we've been updating it. You can go to Creative Cloud, out to your desktop app, by the way, and you can see under your work right here, this is all your stuff. So I can go out to this national parks. Here are all the assets, right, that I currently have going on. I can make those larger, right? I can also kind of like delete colors and manage this all I want in here. So that's typically what I do, by the way. So I could take this text right here and off to the side, right down here at the very bottom. This is where we can add everything. So we could drag them in there, or we can add all of these elements, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to add all these elements for this text. Bam. There it is, adding them all. You can see it adds all this character styles, text, colors. You get the idea. So I would typically do that for the logos as well. You can see the logos are already in here, right? And then I can continue to work on this. Hi from Rome. Good to have you here from Rome. Awesome. Gary from Devon, England. Good to have you here as well. So Devon, I'm going to select this and I'm going to show you this new feature, okay? Because if I want to explore colors, let's do this real fast. Let's just open up my browser real fast. Let's search for national parks, something simple. Let's grab an image out there. See if I could drag and drop from here. Maybe not, but I'm just going to go ahead and grab an image, and I could actually do that from my library. What I want to do is just I want to bring in an image like so. So now that I have this image in here, I can select these graphics, okay? And I can colorize these graphics based on this photo. So that's what I'll do. I'll go to Edit Colors, Recolor Artwork. And from here, here's your color theme picker. So this is new. I can say, hey, you know what? I like this color palette. I can jump over here, click on it, and it will change. As you can see, it'll change your palette based on what you have selected. You can also click and drag to select more colors, but you can see it kind of grabs, kind of puts it in this blue area because this photo is mostly blue. So you can recolor artwork based on photos that you drop into Illustrator. So anyways, that's cool. Let's reset it back. Let's move on. Who is this? Hello there. My name is Paul Tranny. I'm an evangelist for Adobe, and yeah, we're going to move into this a little bit further. So I have this text, and let's say, for instance, I want to just kind of position this deer over here, and I want this deer to kind of be in line with, say, the X height of this text. And you know, right, typically if we drag this around, check this out. Typically it will snap to the bounding box of the text. But guess what? We can now snap to the glyphs. So go down to View, clear down to Snap to Glyph. So this is new. I want to actually align this to the top of the X height, right? I can take this, drag it down, and you can see how that line turns. Hopefully you can see that. That line underneath, see that line there? Let me zoom in on this. Let me zoom in on this even closer so everybody can see it. Right, but we'll grab this, we'll drag this guy down, and notice how it snaps to the X height. So that's what's happening. James Court, what's up? Good to have you here. Kat, you're hilarious. All right, so that's pretty cool. I love the snap to glyphs, by the way. Also, if you have a lot of text, by the way, body copy, for instance, so let's just do that, drag out some body copy. I'll have some text goes like this. Right, just gonna make this simple for you. Because again, life doesn't have to be complex. But here's some text in a text box. I'll go to the Properties panel, and right over here we now have area type. Right, so now we could easily just jump in, area type, you get the idea. We've needed this for a while, and I'm glad it's in here. Okay, let's move on. South Africa is in the house. All right, so this, by the way, is a cloud document. So that's actually being synced as we speak. So keep this in mind. You're going to see this file later. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this image though. You're going to see this file later. But typically I drop everything into my library panel. I would use that in other places. Let's get rid of that. Such as After Effects. So again, I dragged in national parks, this text, character styles. I can take this logo, drop it in here, and now here I am in After Effects, and I could use that asset, right, as exactly as you'd expect, right? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm actually just going to jump into XD now. So, is the music a little loud? Chris, you have a very strong opinion about the music. It's hilarious, but let's turn it down a little bit if it's bothering you. Okay. Moving forward, let's open up XD, shall we? Here in XD, again, we have those same images, right? From my my Creative Cloud library. I could drop in, I can grab an image, right? Just like we were doing, right? We could drop that in, we can see that it's linked. So this becomes our, basically our one truth when it comes to the assets for this project. Super loud. Oh, sorry. All right. Let's move on. Let's actually get rid of this, by the way. Because I want to show you this. This is actually really cool. So let's get rid of this. I'm kind of already giving it away, but basically you have 3D transforms in XD, right? So here's these images. Typically it would be so difficult to get 3D, this to even move in 3D space, yet alone adjust. But all you need to do now is go right over here to the transform panel. It's this little guy right here. You turn that on, it gives you this additional column, right? So you have sort of a pan, a rotate, and you can move it in the sort of the depth of this layout. So I'm just going to kind of move this like this. Now I'm going to make this fun card stack, as we can see, just tilting that like so. And I could use, obviously, this widget is what I've been using. But I would jump over here and also jump in and say, hey, you know what? I want this to be -60, right? And you can see it rotates at -60, just like so. Cool thing is, this is really fun, Ian, when you get into adding a little bit of animation. So this has an auto-animate type of action associated with it, on drag and on click. So let's just play this for you we can see this is what we have. Zoom in on this, and now we can click and drag, and we can see that 3D-ness working exactly as expected, right? And then let's click on it, and then that slides up like so. Cool. Click, click. You get the idea. 3D transforms. Awesome. Done. You get the idea. Let's move on from there, shall we? Let's move out of here. And so sorry I'm missing some of the chat over on Behance. I apologize, my friends. There you go. Yeah, welcome. Let me know if you have questions. Is this, yes, it's being recorded for viewing later, right? And yeah. So let's talk about Creative Cloud documents. So we know actually all the assets get stored. If you go to assets.adobe.com, you have all the assets for your libraries actually in the browser, right? So we can go to assets, go to libraries, and we can see there's our national parks. We can take a look at it, but also we can have our images in here as well. So in my case, for this particular file, it's Photoshop PSDC. So I can just save it, go out to files, for instance, and cloud documents. So your libraries are out here, but also this PSD in this case is available in my browser, right? So you could have people comment on it like I was doing earlier. So let's just delete that. But in general, you could comment on it. You could send this link to your boss or the client and they can comment on it, right? And they can sort of pinpoint, you know, change this image, right? We could put that pin right here or somewhere. I don't know where. Where shall we put it? Place it right here. Change this image. So that's the feedback we get, right? We open up our file. We go in there. We take a look. Change that image, right? Like so. Saving it. It will update in the browser. But this is the cool thing. Let's say, for instance, they did not like the change that I made and they want to revert back to the old version. You know, clients. We won't wait for this to update because I'm also live streaming, so bandwidth's going to be kind of tricky. But let's say they want to roll it back. Well, guess what? We have versioning available in Photoshop. So you can go to Window, down to Version History. There it is. Window, Version History. And you can see these are the versions, right? So we can see the version that I just edited, right? Here it is. I can roll back to the previous one, clicking right there. This is the previous version before swapping out that image. If I decide that this one's my favorite, I can go ahead and click right here, bookmark it, and I can name it Forest Image with colorization, for instance, right? And now that gets saved as part of the file. So versioning is pretty cool. Nice, right? Steven, what's up? Mallory, what's up? And RB, how are you guys doing? Sorry, I should probably hit this little magic button so I could see the chat a little better. But let's switch over to mobile. If I could. Okay, so that did not quite work. Okay, so let's switch over to mobile really fast because this image is available. I'll go to File, Open. Is available like everywhere, like Photoshop on the iPad, for instance. It's going to be available there. And just kind of showing you a couple images that are in here that we could play with. All right. That's pretty good. All right, let's switch over real fast because I also want to show Illustrator on the iPad. Just like we saw this image as well, I can open this up. Again, it is a AIC or an Illustrator cloud document. And if we take a look, bring that over here, and here it is. Here's that same file. I'm going to select it, right? It opens up. And now I can continue to work. By the way, watch what's going to happen with this text. This text is highlighted red. It's going to go ahead and find that font and sync it, provided... Come on, buddy. It should actually find the... Oh, let's see what actually we get right here. Okay, so that might have been a special font that is not an Adobe font. But that's what I want to change anyways. I want to jump in and just pick a more interesting font. Look at all these ones that I have, right? These aren't even ones that are on my desktop. These are part of Creative Cloud that I can actually go ahead and sync and start using. So I like this one. That's the one we'll go with. Let's just delete that, and I can start creating in here, right? Fresco needs the perfect circle option by holding the Apple Pencil. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. This does have it, though, by the way. If we do jump in here, we do have the ability to draw out a perfect circle. If I'm not using Apple Pencil, I'm just kind of like drawing. You'll get that line that says, hey, I'm a perfectly symmetrical circle. You could also hold down the Shift key on the keyboard, and you could press this option button right here. So it says that it's constrained. So we do actually have that ability, you know, on the iPad. But let's jump in here. Let's create something really fast. Yeah, let's just use the pencil. Let's just go zoop, zoop like that. Let's take this. Let's make the line thicker. Let's also take this and let's do a grid repeat. So for this explore and conserve, I want to do just some fun waves. So here are the fun waves. Let's like connect them, right? I could tweak this some more, by the way. So let's just double tap. It's actually, oh, go away. Right, we'll go in here and we will just tweak this end, right? You can see what's happening like so. I can kind of line that up just, you know, perfectly if I want to. I'm going to remove this point. This is the option right next to the trash can. So this will remove the point but keep the overall shape. So I'll click right there and notice how it will actually adjust the Bezier points or these curves, right? It'll adjust these curves so it still lines up and all that good stuff. Okay, you get the idea. There we go. We have it. Let's move this over. Let's make these waves like that. And let's offset them, right? So right down here in my properties panel, let's offset just change up the grid type. And now we have some waves. Hello, Mitra. Good to have you here. Cool. Yeah, buddy. All right. Let's move on, actually. Let's kind of create some more stuff. I'm going to do something really fast. We'll jump in here. Let's draw out maybe just a fun fish. Right. You get the idea. I could use my direct selection tool right in here and kind of tweak this a little bit more. Again, removing some of those points if I want to, but you could actually control the number of points that the shape has when drawing by adjusting the smooth. But anyways, just doing like a little fishy guy right there. Let's take that down. Let's drag this up in the stack. Let's change that to white. Let's put that, oops. Undo. Hold down the Shift key. There we go. Just give him a little eyeball like so. Grouping it. Trying the radial now with this fish. The radial repeat. There we go. And now we have these lovely fish kind of just jumping out of the water is kind of the thought. But you know what? I only want them to kind of appear, you know, on the top portion. So only maybe 180 degrees around this particular circle. You get the idea. Cool. Let me know if you have questions with Nasarov. Good to see ya. I don't know. Hopefully everything's working out there on Behance if you're joining me there. Yeah, cool. All right. So that was fun to do, right? Again, that's still just an Illustrator file that I can open up on my desktop. I actually have it already open, so I notice when I can access a file from anywhere, sometimes you'll have conflicts with the file. But I also want to show you what's going to happen if I get this on my desktop. So let's switch over. Here it is. You can see there's my file. I'm going to open it up. Repeat objects are not yet supported, so just kind of keeping that in mind. It'll bring everything in, but these repeat objects are just going to be expanded because those repeating radial, mirror repeat, grid repeat are just not available on the desktop just yet, which is actually why I used Illustrator on the iPad. Okay. Oh, maybe you couldn't see where I was drawing. Maybe that was the situation. Either way, let's actually switch back to my lovely iPad. Boop, right over here. We're back. We're in it to win it. We're going to jump into Photoshop as well, right? You saw some of those snapshots. Let's go into, say, this file, right? So we could use Photoshop on my iPad, right? And you have sort of all the font controls that you need for this font. I might want to actually put this text behind the fox's head. So I'm going to just go ahead and duplicate this fox layer, put it on top, and then instead of selecting it some arcane way, I'm just going to do select subject. So select subjects available on the iPad. Not only that, we have a refine edge. Selecting refine edge, let me just show you. Let's do this on black, right? Jump in here, get all, like, between all the hairs, right? So I'm just quickly kind of rolling over the fur like so. We'll click done. You get the idea. Mask it. Boom. There it is. And now we have that text kind of behind that fox's head, right? Cool. Done. Hey, that's available on my desktop as well. Cool. Steve, what's up? Here I am also in Fresco, where I can open up a Photoshop file. Those layers are preserved, right? We could have fun in here with this. And you guys kind of get the idea how Fresco works. But as a designer, I'd probably use it for some cases. I personally like the trees, right? We can go ahead and do that. Add a little bit there. I'm going to go beyond that because what I'm going to do now, rather than working on my iPad in Fresco, I could do that. But a lot of times, I am just like, I don't always have my iPad with me. So wouldn't it be nice if I can still work on Fresco, work in Fresco on my iPhone. So switching over to my desktop, bam, bam, bam. Wait 1 second. Here we are. We now have Fresco for the iPhone available. Okay, so again, that's all I'm showing right here. You could see that same file that actually should be syncing. Come on, buddy. Make sure it's closed, whatever the case may be. It will sync that file. Right? You can see this parrot conflict file because I actually had it open, so keep that in mind. Sometimes you'll have the same file open. Yeah, I want to open up this one. So here we are. Here is this file. I could use my watercolor brush, right? We could see it like so. Hold on. Watercolor, round detail, or wash soft, whatever the case may be, I can use that if I want to. But also I wanted to show you a hard round. Let's do a soft round opacity for smudge. And I can go in and start smudging. Let me actually change that. Let's do just a basic hard round. And there we go. Just kind of smudging these colors together to make it look like it has some motion and just kind of blend those colors together as well. The reason this is fitting in perfectly is because there's a mask associated with this particular layer. That's how I'm staying within the lines. But anyways, that's just Fresco on the iPhone, which is nice. I can close that, it'll sync. Yeah, sorry my connection is lag. I apologize, my friends. So, all right. What about After Effects? After Effects has some 3D features. I wanted to keep this for designers. Not that After Effects isn't for designers, but I already have it closed. But it has a new way to work with 3D, which I think is the most exciting thing in After Effects. So definitely check that out. And right, but I can only like stream for. Check out neural filters. Right, neural filters in Photoshop allow you to augmented reality and machine learning. So because it's fast, I'll jump in and just pick a style. So already this is actually pretty cool for my purposes, right? If I wanted to get crafty, what I can do is change my age or my head rotation using Smart Portrait. Try that out for yourself. I'm going to let you go. Looks like bandwidth might be an issue, but thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. And join me next time if you will. That would be really cool if you could. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. I gotta go mosey on out of here. So we'll see ya. We'll see you guys. We will see you next time. All right. We'll see you guys.